everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Hialto's overview demonstration. We're going to be specifically focusing on working remotely in your private cloud, how to enable your staff, your team, yourself, and your customers, with the necessary tool to help them purchase your services, your private cloud services, help them automate the provisioning of those services, and being able to track, meter, and report for easy and simplified billing. My name is Joshua Deneau. I'm the accounts manager at Hialto. I'm also joined by Phil Yagi, our sales engineer. Like I said, he's going to be taking you through a quick demonstration of the solution to basically show you how easy it is for your customers and staff to use this while working remotely. So our main purpose, like I said, is helping service providers. We're enabling your customers and team remote access to your private cloud business to sell, automate, provision, and track usage. This is going to allow your team full access. The biggest thing is with minimal training, where you can empower your sales team without any background or knowledge of, say, your vCloud director or VMware. They're going to be able to have access to this solution, and everything's going to be able to provision it and quote for your customers while everything's tracked and metered in the background. The best thing is one dashboard communicates with your vCloud director and vCenter as well. We do have a native integration with ConnectWise, which we will touch base on as well. We deal with customers of every size all over the world, big or small. Basically, it's a solution that's built for the enterprise level to the small MSP as well. As I'd mentioned, our first integration was with VMware, vCloud Director, vCenter. We then built an integration for Veeam Backup. And then for your billing systems, we used ConnectWise Manage to feed all your information into that as well. We're constantly building new integrations as well, especially for Amazon Web Services, Google as well, Azure. The biggest problems we hear is we're looking for a way to deliver your services faster. From the technology side of things is spending too much time provisioning, too much time cleaning data for billing. So this is going to allow a way to automate from start to finish your sales process, your automation process, and your billing process. As a business standpoint, we speak to a lot of owners, high-level management. They're looking for a way now to, instead of deliver just packages, they would like to offer their customers more flexible servicing and flexible usage-based billing like a public cloud. Hialto is going to be able to offer you and deliver that. On the finance side of things, like I said, a lot of times your finance team or engineers will have to pull this data, clean it. Typically, what we've heard, some companies, or at least a larger company, a partner of ours, have recently explained to us that they're spending up to about 80 hours per month cleaning this data just to send it over to the finance department. Whereas Hialto is going to put that into a simple to use spreadsheet, and you can feed that straight into your billing system. I'm going to pass the baton over to Phil. He's going to take you through the 3 pillars of Hialto, quick background of how Hialto works, and then a quick demonstration as well. After you, Phil.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for joining our webinar. I'm excited to show you around Hialto and get a little more in depth on how Hialto works and can help grow your private cloud business. So we really have 3 pillars that comprise our Hialto technology. That's a self-service marketplace that's always on, that you create templated solutions, you price them, and your customers can purchase these out of their portal and start spinning up their workloads. Behind this marketplace, we have automation that provisions the workloads automatically on the customer's behalf. No need to have a systems administrator involved to light up these workloads for customers. They can do it on their own. And in the background, Hialto tracks everything that the customer has been using and will automatically feed PSA systems such as ConnectWise Manage with the usage, or we can export a neat usage report in an Excel spreadsheet that can be used to feed into another billing system. Hialto is first and foremost a multi-tenant platform that sits on top of vSphere and vCloud Director. This creates multi-tenancy for your end customers to purchase workloads and manage their workloads in your cloud. As we talked, we have resource automation for both VMware technologies, vCloud Director and vCenter. And we also have a construct of X as a service, or anything as a service. It's a powerful form builder to automate the order entry and order fulfillment for things that we haven't integrated with. We track all the resources for what XaaS is driving, what VMware is driving, as well as Veeam. We can integrate with Veeam, the service provider console, what was used to be called the Veeam Availability Console. And we can track your tenants' usage as well there and correlate all that information with the usage that we track in VMware. We have full auditing, role-based access control, and other capabilities on the platform that I'll cover a bit more. To talk about the architecture of Hialto is operating in the open API, RESTful API world. We believe in allowing systems to communicate programmatically between one another to automate the provisioning and the configuration of things. So Hialto is a SaaS application. It lives in the cloud. And as a result, we need a lightweight virtual machine appliance to live in your data center that acts as a proxy for API calls to your infrastructure that's not exposed to the internet. Our platform is completely extensible and allows us to do rapid integration with other technologies. Our backend is all driven by APIs. So everything that you see in Hialto in the web UI is also API driven. So we support integration within our platform as well. Let me share my screen and give you a quick tour of our portal. See how Hialto can work for you. We are now in Hialto. I'm logged in as an end customer. So this would be the look that they see when your end customers log into their portal, into your private cloud. So I see a quick snapshot of all the virtual machines. A total of 6 are running for this customer with an aggregate of 77 gigabytes of RAM that's been ordered and 25 cores of CPU and just a bit over half a terabyte of storage. We can see a quick snapshot that half of the VMs are powered on and half of them are powered off. We have a quick snippet of the power states here. We can use these to power on a virtual machine. And we can hit the console of the virtual machine very quickly by hitting the console here. And then this brings us to the native VMware web console that we proxy over. We can also drill into a workload by looking at the virtual machine details. So you can see, let me adjust my time units and see if we get a time scale here. So we can see this workload spun up in January with 20 gigs of RAM ordered, and it's been turned on and off, and it's only used some amounts of RAM in that time period. Same thing with CPUs. We can see the amount of cores that are being used and how much storage along that time. We've got our typical controls here to start the virtual machine: graceful shutdown, stop, and graceful reboot. Console as well, guest info, and delete the virtual machine if that's the case. Get little snapshots on the disk. So there's only one disk here with 81 gigs of capacity. We see the networks are connected to the virtual machines, and we're allowed to take snapshots or revert to snapshots if required. We can also modify this workload. So it's a really simple slider system. You can rename the host name or give it a different service name, and we can decide, how much RAM we want to change. We maybe can grow this to 24, maybe reduce the CPUs down to 3, and we'll grow the storage up to 100. Okay, and based on the variables that we've chosen, we can see what the new cost of this virtual machine on the monthly recurring basis is going to be about $205 for this workload with all these changes that we've made. Hit modify virtual machine, yes. And we go Hialto. The application itself will send API calls to our virtual machine appliance that will proxy those API calls to vCenter. And the virtual machine has now changed. Now we can power on this workload and continue working as required. So that's a quick overview of managing existing workloads. Let me show you how purchasing a new workload works. Your customer goes to their marketplace and they have these tiles of solutions that you've already developed for them and exposed to them. So these are standard configurations for your customer's workload. If they only have access to specific data stores or networks, that's all they will be deploying to. So let's pick a blank virtual machine that will deploy really quickly here. So you go purchase, we give it a name. We'll just give it a name here, webinar 01. And let me just highlight this and give it the same as the host name for the virtual machine. And now we just make slider adjustments to what we want. Let's say it needs 4 gigs of RAM, 2 cores, and we'll leave on the gold tier state storage, and we'll provision it with 40 gigs of storage, we'll say. Connected to the internet network. Here we go, 8750 for that workload based on what we've chosen. Hit purchase, away we go. Now that workload gets purchased. Now that the workload is being procured, and once it's provisioned, we'll see it purchased in this table, and we'll be able to connect to this workload and do what we need to. It's a really easy way for your end customers to deploy new workloads into the data center, basically interact with your VMware infrastructure without really exposing them to vSphere directly. We sit on top of vCloud Director as well. We can manage virtual data centers as well. So whether you want to expose individual VMs or resource pools from vSphere, or you want to sell them vCloud Director virtual data centers or edge gateways, we can do that as well. So we have a virtual data center here. It's using the pay-as-you-go model. We can see it's been purchased, how much RAM, CPU, and storage have been assigned. We can drill into that virtual machine, get the same kind of snippets of what's being used during the last month's few days. So this was a brand new purchase sometime in April. And then we see, the virtual apps that are there. We can start the apps. We see there's one VM. We can drill into the VM itself and look at the individual VM and make changes to that VM the same way we do to a virtual machine in vCenter. Same kind of concept where you make the changes. So it's a very robust and in-depth and easy to use self-service portal where a lot of the complexities get abstracted and the end user just gets presented simple concepts to provision their workloads. Behind all of that, we have an integration, or here, let's go to their third pillar, which are the reporting. So I'm flipping to the service provider portal. I can look at the reports here and generate a report for all of my customers. This will generate for the last 30 days by default, but you can adjust these time periods to whatever billing period you're looking at or whatever usage period you're looking at. And it's going to export an Excel spreadsheet with all this data. But if you are a service provider that's using ConnectWise Manage, I can log into our ConnectWise Manage. All right, I've logged into ConnectWise Manage, and I'm a Big Design Inc. company. And if I look at the agreements, there's a private cloud services agreement that acts as a shell or a master agreement under which all the private cloud workloads are going to live. And each workload, so virtual machine, resource pool, edge gateway, virtual data center, live as bundled agreements here. So we can see one of these, like this virtual data center that we looked at, or let's look at one of the virtual machines. And we look at the additions, and each of the additions will represent the quantity, and High Alto keeps that up to date for ConnectWise Manage, so that when an invoice is sent out, you are 100% sure that you are billing for the resources that have been consumed by your end customer. Now, this is the detailed report that I ran a bit earlier before showing you ConnectWise Manage. Each customer is broken down, their usage is broken down into each tab, so it keeps it really neat and organized. Allow me to freeze the pane here so we can scroll down, because our system really tracks all the usage down to the second. Every little change in the environment, whether it's been done through High Alto or in the backend through vCenter or vCloud Director, by way of a reverse sync, we track all the changes no matter what happens. So if it's your team doing it internally or the end customer using High Alto, we keep track of that. And we can see essentially here the workload, the name of the workload, when it started, what happened, was it deleted, was it purchased, the properties, so RAM, core, storage, some of the SKUs, payment cycles, how the pricing was set up for this solution. And then you see the units, so how much those units were, so 1.5 gigs of RAM, 1 core, storage, what that was priced long, how long it was actually running for, and then give you a nice little line item per resource or per workload, or the grand total for your end customer's usage. And everybody is really kept in its own little tab here, which makes it really easy. And here's our workload that I provisioned with you, webinar. It has our values that we've set it, and as a result, it's been running. That was an hourly based, so there we go. We see how the detailed usage reports are very powerful and encompassing. We really keep track of everything. And beyond all that, we have different user roles that you can set up, RBAC permissions, multi-factor authentication, anything you'd expect into a cloud solution, we support essentially. And we have a lot of these features and functionalities you'd expect. I'd love to drill in a bit more in depth. If you have questions about our platform or technology, I'd be really happy to get more in detail with you. So High Alto, we typically get 24 hours for a snapshot of your environment, and it doesn't take long to set up High Alto. It takes an hour or two. We will get some value right away. Within 24 hours, we'll get a snapshot of your environment, and we can let you know whether you're billing your customers accurately. It doesn't take long to create this report and find out what your end customers are using in your VMware platform.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate you taking us through the demonstration. So we're just going to summarize quickly, and then after this, we'll get you some contact information if you want to, one more one-on-one demonstration, if you have any questions, that sort of thing. So basically, what we've gone through today is we're going to be able to help to grow your private cloud business by having all your services in one place, one dashboard to manage everything. You're going to be able to also create more of an upsell opportunity. You can display all your professional services in that marketplace, be able to sell everything in one place. We're going to definitely be able to speed up delivery with the automation side, be able to purchase, have your customers up and using your services in just a matter of minutes. Definitely looking at some labor savings due to the automation and not having to pull that data at the end of the month to be able to have to put it into your billing system. So we'll be able to offer some labor savings there as well. The biggest thing is errors when billing for your new and existing customers, where your staff, your customer's paying for 4 gigs, and then your staff has to raise it for them, but then forgets to bring it back down, or he just forgets to charge for it. High Alto is going to be able to monitor and manage and see these changes and offer you detailed reporting. So you're going to be able to eliminate revenue leakage and just have more of a detailed look of how your customers are consuming your resources. Definitely the return on investments. One of our customers recently said for every $100 they were spending, they're making $700 by using High Alto, be able to upsell more services, that automation piece of things, but really seeing if they're giving away their services, be able to renegotiate their contracts with their customers. Also being able to offer more of a on-demand service billing. So again, I appreciate you taking the time out to meet with us today, listen to the demonstration, the overview of High Alto. If it sounds like something you need or something you might just be interested in learning a little bit more about and want to chat with us, feel free to schedule a meeting with me, meetings at hubspot.com/Josh Deneau. Take that, you can also book it, for a time that's going to be best for you. If not, feel free to send me a quick email as well with your questions, information, or requesting a demonstration. We can set something up.